Yes, everybody, what's going on? How are you? Are you having a good Friday? I'm just gonna quickly pull up the chat so I can chat to you guys as I'm on here. As always, welcome to the XG Files. Hope you're well. What have you got planned for the weekend? Well, in fact, let me know where you are watching the World Cup, because I'd be interested in seeing where everyone is watching the old World Cup. Are we live? We are live, yeah. I was just checking. I hadn't gone live on my screen. Yeah, let me know where you're watching the World Cup. As it stands, I ain't got a ticket, so I'm going to try and find a fan park. Someone has said there's something called the 900, which is supposedly a pretty good fan park, so I will probably be going and checking out that one. I don't think I'll be bagging a ticket. I'm going to try, obviously, but considering the prices that we're getting quoted for the semi-final, I won't be buying a final ticket, I don't think. I need to get a new car when I'm home, and I reckon it'll be probably about as much as a new car. And I need the car, and I can watch from a fan park. Not saying he's watching at his brother's house. Ollie says, finished uni for the year, straight away, got a streaming cold. James Nolan says Wagwan. Igwe says Nigeria, Geneva. No, I don't mean like what country you're watching it from. Whereabouts? Like with a mate, with your parents, with your missus. Like where are you watching it? Like that's what I was on about. So yeah. Now the title of the video is why this loan makes sense. I'm gonna be having a look at some striking options. David Graham says, hi, Dave in Canberra. Tell us again how 5 started, because it's why they're there. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Joshua Richard says, in bed stoned. Arwen says, with my mates and a few cans. Brian says, afternoon. Gig says, pub. Stephen says, pub. Jan says, probably alone. Ali Phyllis says, with the missus. Nathan says, at home, be 1 a.m. in Australia. Alex says, watching at home with my wife and a 5-week-old daughter. How is the young'un? Is she doing well? Stephen says, in the pub with the boys. Team viewer out. Hashtag Glazers out. David says, think I'll be watching it with my lad. Ines says, sitting on the pan. Mate, if you're sitting on the pan for 90 minutes, I'd probably go and get your bum fingered by a doctor, because I reckon there's a problem there. You shouldn't be sitting on the pan for 90 minutes plus extra time, especially with the injury time that we've been getting at the end of each half. David says, why I am where I am now. I don't know. I don't even know if I can answer that. I mean, the obvious one is because we do the videos with Rio, and he wanted us out here to do the videos and make some content. Like, the plans we've got for the Euros and the World Cup, we've messed about at this World Cup. We've made some content, but we've not delivered everything that we want to do. We've probably done 15% of where we would like to take it to for the next ones. So don't worry about it. Scone says, at home with a 3-year-old sick son sitting on the sofa. Has everyone got colds at home? Janine had to take Blake to the doctors the other day. She thought she had strep because she's been coughing loads, but she's not had it. Paul says, fighting with my autistic son for the remote World Cup or Toy Story. This is where iPads come in handy, isn't it? Plonk them down, iPad, jobs are good. Infinite Paradox, when am I travelling to Dubai next, and why isn't Joel going there? It's me that goes to Dubai to do the stuff with Paddy, because it's me that can set up all of the camera stuff. Notch has had a cold yesterday, well sniffly. Steve looking tired, bud. I feel tired. The sun's shining, and I feel like such a dickhead if I don't take advantage of being in the sun for another few more days. But I'm fucked at the minute. We ended up having a couple of bevs last night, and we was up early to go and do Vibe 5. That should be on its way out very, very soon. But I'm fucking knackered. Absolutely knackered. Ferris says, would you sign a Swiss striker? And Bolo, really good striker that could hold up. Joe, a few years ago when we were linked to him, I was like, this guy's arse. But he's put the Rocky tunes on. He's hit the gym like a motherfucker, and he is whamtastic now, isn't he? So I wouldn't be upset if we signed him, to be honest with you. Dale says, Steve, can you use some of that Mercedes money to get a ticket? You got your fingers in all sorts. We've done a read for Mercedes. We did another one today where it specifically mentions 5v5. I thought, honestly, and I think our commercial guy actually thought the same as well. I thought those reads were just going on the audio version. So our audio stuff goes out on Acast, right? And I thought, before you listen to the podcast, you get that advert. Like you get like the skippable adverts on YouTube if you watch the video. Well, you get an audio advert, and that was we did a read for Mercedes. We did another one, or they actually did 4 today for Mercedes. But apparently, they don't just go on ours; they go on all sorts of stuff that you listen to on Acast. So yeah, apparently some like CEO investor kind of chat had Rio and Joel reading an advert out before it. Well, I guess that's what it is, I think. Josh says, "What are the soft drinks like in Qatar?" I've seen quite a lot of the bubble tea stuff, but I've not tried it, to be honest. Stasio says, "It's too cold, fizzled out here already. Who's in the final?" How are the cows holding up? Says Brian. Well, I played beach football last night and I did a little bit of running around and it's fine, but I've hurt my ankle. My ankle's a little bit swollen. One of the lads broke his toe last night. He's hobbling about like fuck, and one of them's done his knee in. Some of the legends. So I was at a Legends game yesterday, or Legends tournament, I should say, yesterday. Just getting some pictures of Farah and some video of Farah for her socials and that. And I think Makalele's done his ACL. And I literally remember saying to some of the people I was sitting with and saying, like, some of these guys are like, I mean, Stoichkov scored 4 goals in about 10 minutes and was fucking ruthless. Seedorf looks like he could still do it. Yeah, it was good. It was good to watch. Am I jetting out as soon as the final is over? No. Tuesday, I fly home. I'll be home early hours Wednesday morning, I think. Alex says, knowing your immune system, you get wrapped up when you get home. My immune system ain't bad. I get colds and stuff when I've been absolutely fucking punishing myself. Or, you'll find this out soon enough, having a toddler that goes nursery, they get everything, they bring it into your house. Victor says, would I consider doing a watch-along? For the final? No. I mean, I understand why you would want one. For subsequent ones, that's something we are going to be doing, using the studio in London and then like sort of linking it back to here. But no, I'm not coming all the way to Qatar to sit in a room to do a watch along. That's carnage. Dale says I was listening to the Off Menu podcast when it came on. That's class. David, how did 5 start and how did we team up? 5 started, shit man, about 10 years ago. There's videos of Ronaldo while he was at United. Rio started a magazine called 5, like a print magazine. And then it went digital and just did sort of like clips that went out on socials, but they hosted them on YouTube. And then Rio wanted to get in the mix with it. What was it? It was in COVID, I think, wasn't it? And because I did something called 5 Things We Learned, they wanted me to do 5 things I learned about the Premier League every Monday, as well as the 5 things I learned about United. And then I just kind of said, what was happening is I would do my 5 things and Rio would sort of add something in on those as well. And it was a bit disjointed because he didn't see mine and I didn't see his, so we didn't know what each other was going to say. And I just said, why don't we do a podcast? We were both recording this at the same time. Let's just do a podcast. So we started doing a podcast over like Zoom. And then from there, evolved into what we did for the Euros last year and what we're doing out here now. So that's it, really. There's nothing more to it than that. Where is Joel? I think he's at the mall. Could I post a picture of the artwork above my bed? I mean, really? It was -8 at Carrington today. God damn. Which ex-player would make it into our squad just for fun? Being very real right now, fucking Stoichkov. But actually, probably Diego Forlan. Forlan is in tremendous shape. He was probably the best paddle player at the paddle tournament the other day, and he looked sharp in the Legends thing. He's in very, very good shape. Do I trade? No, I haven't got a fucking clue about trading. David says, used to get a cold every New Year coming to the UK after being away in sunnier climate. It is inevitable. All right, well, I'm getting it then, Anna. Josh says, who do you reckon we sign for a backup right back? I'm not sure we're gonna. Let's discuss about the strikers. Yeah, and if you want to check out more of the vibes, then check the vlogs that are on the channel. And we're getting it earlier. IR says, saw your tweet earlier. Am I not watching the games over the weekend? Well, yeah, I'll be watching. The World Cup final isn't until 6 p.m. over here, so I've got literally nothing to do. Tomorrow, I've got to do Real Reacts, so obviously I've got to go and do that. And there's an event that I've got to get back for tomorrow night. So I'll miss the third place playoff, and I'm not asked about the third place playoff anyway. It's not a competitive game; it's basically a friendly. And then Sunday they got nothing until 6 o'clock. If I'm watching it in the fan park, I've been told I got to get in there like 90 minutes early because it gets full. So if that's the case, then that's the case, I guess. So we'll figure it out. Paul says, buy Stadium 974. Oh, yeah. All right. I barely got enough to buy a car when I get back, so I don't think I'll be doing that. But 974 is not a good stadium, you know. It looks interesting from the outside. It's not as good as Old Trafford. It's not a good stadium at all. Anyway, so there's been some talk of United potentially bringing in a striker, and there's a handful of strikers that might be available. Vlahovic is one that we've been linked with, but I think that's to buy, and I wouldn't see that happening in January. That's more of a summer signing, I think. Obviously, you've still got whatever's going to go down at Juventus to go down. There is some talk that we have got a number one target of Cody Gakpo to come in, and I think that would be really good. But I also don't know if the Glazers are going to sanction that sort of cash. On one hand, they should, because it means that if we are looking like a Champions League asset, we're worth more than if we're a Europa League asset. I think even they can get their heads around that. But it's whether then they've got the capital to be able to do it, or they can just put it on the credit card again like they've done with virtually everything that they've done since they own the club. So it gives us three potential options who are supposedly available on loan. One of them, Memphis Depay. His contract's actually up in the summer. I wouldn't buy Memphis. But if we don't get somebody in January and Memphis is an option as a loan, I would take Memphis. He's got 1 goal in 3 games this season, 14 and 2 assists in 41 in total for Barcelona. There's worse options as a 9, but he's not my number one option. João Félix, I think he's a wonderful player. 33 goals, 18 assists in 129 for Atletico Madrid. Well out of favour, don't know what's happened, unless they just see him as a sellable asset. 4 goals, 3 assists in 18 this season. For me, he ain't the number 9 we're looking for. Talented player, no doubt. But I don't think he fits United system. And then you've got one that we've been linked with in the past, you know. And it's a strange one to be linked with him right now. And that's Alvaro Morata. 5 goals, 1 assist in 19 this season. Certainly not pulling up any trees. 27 and 7 assists in 80 for Atletico. Was decent during the World Cup. His contract expires in 2024. I think he's one that might actually make a little bit of sense on loan for 6 months, because I think you're going to struggle. As much as an ideal scenario is we go and get like a Vlahovic or even a Mitrovic or somebody like that, that's an ideal scenario. But I think United, if they go into it with just one golden ticket, this is what we want, I think you can find yourself coming unstuck a little bit if that's what you do. If you try and bring just one thing in and you put all your eggs in that basket and it falls through, you're in the shit. Mayank says, if we don't sign a right back, we are fucked. There's options of people who could play right back, but yeah, I think we're looking. I've seen some stuff about Malo Gusto. I think that might be one that we need to maybe do. Trav says, wonder if Morata's going to dye his hair red again this time. Back to Attackman says, people saying back up right back, we need a centre mid, left winger and a number 9. I don't necessarily think we need a left winger. We definitely need a number 9 though. Jim says Morata is a donkey. Infinite Paradox says, do we sell Wan-Bissaka or keep him in Jan? I am almost certain he goes. And I wonder, do we finally see Phil Jones moved on? What do you reckon? Yes or no? Does Phil Jones get moved on this January window? Can you imagine he's still around come fucking February the 1st? I know he's not registered in the first team. I don't even know what the fuck he's up to at the minute. Imagine he's still here come February. That's fucking bonkers, innit? Brian says, Morata is an out-and-out number 9. Seems like Ten Hag wants a fluid front three, so it makes sense. We're linked with Gakpo. I actually think a proper out-and-out number 9 in that sort of sense is what we need. Someone was just asking about how much, Niaz there, how much are the final tickets like? Someone said $6,000, and this was about a week ago or something. Back to attacks, I think PSG are coming in for Rashi. I think they are too. Jones will have no takers, says Infinite Paradox. Kempy says no. Kevin says, can we see Donny go too? There's the one. All right. This might get confusing now because there's multiple questions on the go, but say Donny yes or Donny no. So whether or not you think Donny will be moved on. Yes or no? Donny yes, Donny no in the chat. And let's see what you guys reckon of that one. Lautaro Martinez didn't impress me, to be honest. Mason says club should have used Ollie's sacking compensation to pay off Phil Jones. IR says wouldn't put it past the Glazers to give Phil Jones new contracts before fucking off. Dale says, what do I think the chances of Maguire going in January are? He's like a fish out of water in the United system. I doubt you'll find someone that can come in for him, to be honest. I think he'll be around for a little bit longer yet. Aaron says, Morata has been my go-to stopgap for a while at striker. The thing is, if you're getting a stopgap, it has to be part of a strategy. So you don't just go, okay, we got a striker, sweet. Where else needed sorting? You go, we get Morata now because we've got X coming in the summer. Do you know what I mean? Donny yes, Donny nah. Ed says, I was talking to some people about could do 30 to 40 plus Donny for Gakpo. Wow, that's big. Nikhil says, hell to the nah. Andrew says, Donny's more likely to leave than Jones because people might actually be willing to take him. Yeah, where? All right, let's try this one. Where does Phil Jones go? In fact, I'm going to roll an ad, and then you lot tell me where the hell does Phil Jones go. Never too early to play holiday music, and it's never too early to start thinking about gifts. Whether it's for a friend or the friends in your pants, you can make this season to be jolly with Manscaped. Do your little drummer boy a favour and use the Lawnmower 4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Add Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have all the people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice when you get naughty by going to manscaped.com and use the code XG20 for free shipping and 20% off. That is manscaped.com, code XG20 for free shipping and 20% off. It's Christmas. It's time to buy someone somewhere to sort their spuds out. Get in the mixer. C. Jones, interesting, says Jones will probably retire. He just can't get fit, unfortunately. David says Jones to retire once his contract ends. How long's he got? Do we even know? Mean says Paddock, he ain't coming to me. Saragon says Jones missed his chance for a new life in France. David says Jones has got too cushy, he ain't going anywhere till his contract is up. Jones to Our Lady's Blind School. First name, last name says Maguire will be difficult to shift. Moving a fridge is a 2-3-man job. Ed says if I'm Jones, I see if Blackburn would have me back. Nick says, do I take any links to Benzema seriously? Surely we've moved away from all the strikers. Perez loves Benzema. There is no chance Perez lets United take Benzema. Would I have him at United? A fucking 1,000%. He ain't coming to United though, so I'm not even going to entertain it. Dale says, is that offer off Paddock still on the table for Phillips D? He'd tear it up. Well, Ash Williams is coming signing for us, right? Genuinely think Ash Williams right now is probably still a better centre-half than Phil Jones. Anyone disagree with that? I mean, he only finished 18 months ago, Ash finished. Leighton says Blackburn, I reckon. Brian says Jones has to go to the Championship or the Scottish League. The Championship is full of fucking killers, mate. He's played like twice in 2 or 3 years. You can't do that. Andrew says if Jones does go, it'll be somewhere where there is an ex-player in there in some high role. Into Miami? Think he could even do a job at Inter Miami? Som says Ronaldo to Madrid. Do I see it happening? No, I think, even though he's denied it, I think he's going to Saudi. I'm almost certain he's going to Saudi. I think that's the only offer on the table for him. So unless he gets a Champions League club. But I'll put it to you lot. Which Champions League club does Ronaldo improve at the moment? This is a guy that can't get into the Portugal side, can't get into the Manchester United side. Dale says Ash is definitely a better centre back than Jones. It's quality that he's signing for Paddock. Ash probably won't play 50 games for us. I don't think he plays 10, but he's definitely going to come and do some bits with us. If he plays 5 or 6 games, that's fucking great for us, isn't it? ECD says United have to buy João Félix. Look, I wouldn't touch João Félix's ability because I think he's a very, very good footballer, but I just don't see how he fits into United. And put it this way, right? Mitrovic or João Félix, in terms of ability, you've got to go with João Félix. In terms of which one fits United, it's not even close to being a question. It's 1000% Mitrovic. Sporting says Moshaba. Gig says Sporting. Som says Chelsea. Moose on the Loose says Chelsea. There's a few saying Chelsea, and I actually think Todd Boehly's fucking daft enough to go with that, to be honest. I definitely think could go to Chelsea. Indrajit says no way he goes to Miami. Bex is looking for stars. Saragon says Sporting Lisbon. Maybe. Back to Attackman says Ronaldo's attitude's the reason he can't get minutes. It's a little bit toxic. Ed says if I'm Frankfurt, I try and get Ronnie. IQ Insane says get me Amrabat. Do you think he's the World Cup unknown, relative unknown, that has come out of this with the most talk? Do you reckon? Andrew says Mitrovic is having a season like Pookie did for Norwich. He'll do nothing next season and nothing if he came to us. Well, is this also on the back of an unreal season last season as well, remember? Victor says make a case for Delo moving to Barcelona on a free. He's playing bloody well, isn't he? Alex says Chelsea are moving Kante on so the 7 shirt is free for CR7. David says Ronaldo improves no club for me, selling the Champions League, Sporting are out of it. IQ says tackling on Mbappe was unbelievable. Paul says Saz will have him at Mac. Any chance Sancho could leave? I don't think so. No, I think that he's probably going to get a little bit of help and a bit of time. I think the time without the pressure to have to play is probably the best thing for him. So yeah, right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Cheers for tuning in. As always, make sure to subscribe. We've got a World Cup preview coming out, so tune in for that, and I'll catch you like the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms.